Hi all, good day. I am back with new video. This is new category. Yes, new one about JSON. It is a single video cover basic to advanced. Let's start. As I told, it is from beginners to advanced level. It going to cover the following list of topics. What is JSON? Why it is popular? What is the JSON structure? How to define the JSON? JSON versus XML, JSONP. Okay, let me discuss about the JSON. I hope you maybe in your programming career you can come across this, or you maybe seen it. At least you can having some idea about that. JSON is a format of handling data. It having own structure to maintain. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. So why the name came like that? JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation because the JSON concept derived from the JavaScript object structure. You are clear, right? So how it is? Like key value pair. See here, it having some key. This is called key. It is a value. So the JSON having the structure like key value pair. It may be a single object. It is called object. If you know JavaScript, this is object, right? The same kind of structure. So the JSON may be a single object or it is a collection of object. You are clear, right? Okay. Object can have the multiple property, meaning for example we know this is a object, this is called one property. The property define key and value. So meaning you can have multiple property like this. So this is called JSON object. So this is called collection of JSON object. So the JSON may be a single object or collection of object. Okay, let me discuss about type. The key here is always string. You could not change this type. It always should be string. For example, you could not write 1 like that. It should be string. The second, the value may be a numeric, it may be a number, or it may be a string, or it may be a object. Like object in the sense, again it can have like this, like it can again have key value pairs. This is called object. So the value may be a string, numeric, object, also array, like this, 1 2 3 like that. So you are clear, right? The JSON object can have multiple property. The multiple property separated by the comma. Each property will have key and value pair. The key is always string data type. The value may be a numeric, string, array and object. I told you here, right? It may be object. Using this object, you can create nested structure. Like for example, name, maybe details. Here you can again create one more object. This object can have name, key, like age. So this is called nested structure. One object can have child and nested child, grandchild, like the way it is having, right? So this is called nested structure. So the object, JSON object may be a single, may be a multiple collection. It can have nested JSON object too. But one thing, this object properties always will be key value pair. Okay, you are clear? Okay, I told earlier, right? The JSON came from the JavaScript object structure. So what is the difference between both? Almost it is similar, right? It most almost the 80 percentage it having the similarity, but still it having some difference. What are they? Here key you should double coded with single quotes or double quotes, because I told the key should be string, but in JavaScript object no need to specify, you can simply declare like this, no need to enclose with a single or double quotes. This is the first difference. The second, in JavaScript you can have these data types for value. Additionally you can have function, undefined, date. So as I told, in JavaScript you can define like this, but in JSON you can't do this. It having only this data types for value. You are clear? Okay, now why we need this, meaning why we have to go with JSON. Consider you have a need to send message. For example, you have to send message like, hi Njan viewers. So this is our need. So if you having the layer structure, like you having one sender and receiver, maybe you can consider this is a server, this is a client. From server to you have to send the some message to client. So in that case this is our need, you have to send hi Njan viewers. So in that case you can simply send us a plain text. Okay, you are clear? See here, now our need, we have to send the data like this, I mean table structure data. We have to send the collection of data. For example, you have to send name A on particular person age is 20, B name B age 27. You have to send this kind of data. Let me try to send us a string. Think name age A 20 B 27. How you make the relationship? It should not be, you can't send like this. If you are sending like that using the some delimiter, some relationship, it will be more and more complex. So it should not be uniform at all. In all the platform it should not be uniform. So this is a major disadvantage in before that. Whenever we are sending as a plain text or HTML, those time this is a stuff. So before invention of this JSON and all, how we have achieved it? In previous we don't have the like this kind of sender receiver structure. Previously all the web application will be only the sender itself, HTML will get ready, the HTML will send directly to the client. The client won't do anything like a dynamic binding, dynamic div creation, dynamic table creation at all. So we all the things are getting rendered in the server itself. But now we are having web services, web API, and even web application itself sending the content and the client itself getting processed. So we having a data need like that. So this is a major space created in the technology world while upgrade of web technology. So in that time, actually it is not only for web technology, even if you want to store it as in some files, you can directly store like this, right? You need some kind of format. So initially the XML got innovated there. So for achieving this table structure, they will create XML like this. So it will have some root files. So this one row considers one group. So this will have this column name will have as a tag name. So like the way they have defined. So this XML got reduced the what are the space created by this problem, right? Previous problem it got reduced. That's the reason in previously in all the web services they used XML. Still they are using the XMLs. But the main disadvantage here, for example, you are sending us one XML. For formatting this XML, the structure will be little bit complex. If you think about this, consider the nested things, it will be more complex. So it also will have the open and closing tags. So for example, client side, if you are parsing, it will be little bit complex in using the JavaScript and other client side scripting, parsing from XML to object. Okay, this is a space created after XML got evolved. Okay, then JSON came and overcome those disadvantages and features. I will repeat what are those. Dynamic hierarchy data representation. Meaning here we are binding multiple object, right? So this object compared to XML, JSON is very simple. It won't have the opening and closing tag at all, right? It will have simply the same thing. I will convert to the JSON, you will understand. See here, it is very simple. I created one array. In that array having the object, this object represent each row. This column name considering as a key, this is our value. We defined easily. Even parsing the JSON came very simple. Even it is in server side also be the client side. Sending data on the network. Think about that. While giving the request, I told this, right, sender and receiver concept. Here from sender to receiver getting the XML is having some weightage, but JSON is simpler than XML. So the network bandwidth got reduced. Compare than XML, the JSON is got reduced. You got it right? Because of these all features, now the JSON came to the first and ruling the communication data structure world. So right now most of the data using XML. Data communication are going through the XML. Okay. As we told previously, the JSON may be a collection of object or single object. This object will denoted with the opening and closing these braces. Multiple objects segregated by the comma. This last one no needed because it don't have any continuity of object. So like the way the object will have the key value pair, that is called property. The properties key should be a string. It could be a double quotes or covered with single quotes. The value may be a number, object, array, string. Multiple properties segregated with comma. Also this last property no need of comma because it don't have any continuity. It is ending with this object, right? Because this structure, the comma and key value per the key and value segregated with this colon. This is important because if you are doing any mistake, for example, I am adding one double quotes here or one comma alone here, the JSON won't get parsed. We could not able to parse this JSON. So this structure is very important. Okay, we understand this. Okay, now we have to be clear or understand how we are going to define our JSON structure based on the requirement. For example, our requirement is, so this is our requirement, need to send one family detail. We are going to send only one family detail. It includes father name, mother name, father's age and mother's age. So for achieving this, how we are going to define our JSON. It clearly mention one family detail. So we can declare our JSON will be a single object. Okay. Now we have to send father name, mother name. So these are the things we can declare as a property. Example, we can define like this: father name. You can give the space also. Mostly in key we won't give like that, because while parsing we have to handling single quotes, or even the if the JSON going to convert as a object, that time if you are giving the space, they could not able to use the dot notation. Meaning, for example, they are assigning this object, this data into one object. So if you are giving the space in your property key, so they could not use dot notation. They definitely should use this square brackets notation, meaning the same thing. See here, I am having the two variable. One is object, another one is object 2. In object I am assigning this. I mean, I don't, the key don't have any space. So in JavaScript object I can able to directly access object.father name. Also I can use this square bracket notation. If you are giving the space here, if you are sending this, so they could not able to access using the dot notation. So definitely they have to go with this square bracket notation. So mostly have the idea your JSON key name should be without any spaces and all. Even try to avoid the special characters also. The underscore is fine actually. Okay, come to the point here. We have declared based on our name. If you are define like this, good. You can say cheers to you. You are started good in JSON formatting. You defined your JSON structure. But think about that. Your JSON is more like generic. The case like, for example, today I asked father name, mother name, father says, mother ch. The API, your API got ready. In the UA it got using the some client script already it has done. Think about that. In tomorrow they are asking brother name and brother age. So what they have done it right. Now they are coming the new requirement with brother's name, brother age. So what we will do, again we will add two more property, that is called brother name and brother age. We will keep it, but in your receiver also has to do some changes based on this. So while defining itself, but some cases we could not handle, some changes definitely would do the changes in both the area. But these kind of changes, wherever we can able to make our structure is more common, we can do. I will show you how we can. See here, I have designed JSON structure moreover generic. I could not say it is a fully generic. Just compare than this is some having the generic feature. Here I am creating one property called details. It is a again collection. This collection can have multiple object. One object having the name, age, relationship. Here I am mentioning X and N. What is the relationship? If it is a father, mother, maybe in future they are going to add brother. Yeah, it came right. So in that case in UA they won't be a much change. Also one more thing you have to make sure, if you are having the collection of object, all the objects should be with the same structure. That will be a good JSON formation. For example, here alone you having some property. It's still allow, but it is not the proper way to do that. You are clear, right? So do you think of your requirement and try to do some kind of JSON structure, then you can come up with how we can do that. Okay, I hope you are clear. Okay, let me show you one server which is going to send the JSON. For example, consider if you don't think about these things, because I have done this API using the Node.js. If you are interested, you can see my Node.js category. It having the almost the moreover all the tutorials based on this node, how you can create the web pages, website, web API. So I am using one of that. Okay, let me start. I started my server. Here I am trying to access this URL, going to return this JSON structure. Okay, you got it right. We are sending some JSON structure. So like the way using the any web application, or even using the client side scripting, JavaScript or jQuery or whatever it is, using that you can consume this data and you can do your dynamic processing. So this is JSON. Okay, I will show you using some HTML. See here, I am having one API call function. This is a JavaScript function. I hope you having little bit idea about the JavaScript. I am having the videos for these two. Actually, this is called Ajax call. I am doing using this Ajax call. I am trying to access that URL and trying to get the data. If I get the data, I am trying to post it here. Okay, let me start the live server. You can see we have written in console, right? Here we are getting issue cross origin. We are not able to access that. Why this is happening? Because we are hosted our web application on this server. This is our receiver now. This is our sender. The sender having the different domain, receiver having the different domain. Even they are not allowing the origin policy. So in that case, there will be a problem to access that one. Actually, this is one for security reason they are preventing this. But some cases we can able to override this. How we can able to override? Because we have to definitely access this. At least some domain has to access. That's the reason we have developed our API, right? So in the server itself, you can give some origin. These are the domains we can able to allow. So for example, I can able to allow only these specific domains. So some cases they will make it as a open domain. There is no cross origin restrictions. This is the second one. Third one, think about that. They have developed one API. This user should not directly access that API. Still they are restricting it due to some security policy, but still they have to expose the API and to the outside world. How we can? For achieving this, the technique came called JSONP, that represent JSON with padding. Okay, the name is JSONP. This is JSONP. Actually, there right now the MIME content type itself having the JSONP one of the type. So even we can able to actually inbuild the JavaScript or jQuery going to do what we are now we are going to see that. Same way they are in behind of the our control, they are doing it. See here. Here I am having the same set of API JSONP. Okay, I am going to access this from this HTML itself. See here in the API both going to return same name of age. Okay, let me show you how I am achieving this, because you have seen the first both the API are deployed in same domain. Our access point also same. Now see here, we are getting the value. How come now? because previously while we tried to access using the XHR, we are getting the cross origin issue, but now we got it. How it happened? Because of this JSONP logic. Okay, how it going to be? Okay, in API, while they exposing, they for example, I have planned it could be a JSON object, JSONP object. The response type is JSONP. Then what they will do? They will define some query param name for this. For example, here for accessing this JSONP, I will tell you this is my API. You should pass your callback function on this key name. Okay, so I will get that query param. I will bind it like this. My JSON, I covered with this opening and closing functional bracket. My content will be inside. Okay, let me show you here. If I access JSONP, because here I am not passing any name. Maybe I will here this API having the property name. Okay, I am defining Njan as a callback. Now you can see Njan of something like that. For achieving, because of this it came. No, it's not like that. Actually, what we are doing, this is a server side, they are doing some changes here. In client side, we won't call it as a XHR. Right now, for this what we will do, we will create one function which is going to be a callback. You can define like this coming data going to be a JSON. So here you can do whatever the process you needed. Right now simply I have written as console.log. Okay, we have defined one function. When we are going to call this function, actually we are not going to call this function. This function going to call when the API response came. Here you can see this is JSONP callback. So here I am creating one script tag. In the script tag source I am giving the API URL. I am mentioning callback, and this function should be same as what I have defined here. Okay, I have defined it. So I am binding this script tag with the HTML body. So what will happen, whenever we are calling this function, it will inject script tag with this source. So this source will call that API and will get the string script file. Here you can see we having one JS file. This JS file having the function call of JSONP callback. So we already defined this, right? I can show you in console. If I call like this is a function call. If you know the JavaScript, you can understand. If you call this function and we are giving parameter, already we having the function definition, this parameter, how we are going to process, what we are going to process. Now you are clear. Actually, while defining the JSONP, they will have like this, or sometimes they will tell you have to use this is a function name as a callback. Right now here we are giving it, right? So those case we want to give this too. For example, I will show you how it going to be. They will define in the server itself. They won't read the query string at all. Just simply they will do like this. Because so in that case the web server itself defined this is the callback method name always. So based on this name, while consuming, the receiver has to create the same function. For example, if you change this callback to callback 1, it won't work. You got it? Even for example, I am changing this callback 1, you will get an error. See here, JSON callback is not defined because the script is trying to access that function, but our function don't having it. That's the reason it's throwing an error. Okay, I hope you are clear with the JSONP. So in this entire series of tutorial, we have discussed about what is JSON, why it is popular, What is the difference between JSON and XML? JSON structure, how we are going to define our own JSON structure based on the need. JSON versus JSONP, how we are going to achieve the JSONP. These all things we have covered it. Now I hope you are being a master in JSON, because other than this nothing more in JSON. It's a simple. Okay, one more thing, if you are saving your JSON as a file, the file extension is .json. Okay, you are clear? Thank you.